According to newly released emails from the state of Florida, it turns out that Ron DeSantis' own public safety czar, a man by the name of Larry Keefe, actually reached out to the CEO, who he was good friends with, of a company called Vertol Systems. And Vertol happens to be the company that was granted the state contract to go and fly the migrants to Martha's Vineyard. So Mr. Keefe, again, public safety czar down here in the state of Florida, who, by the way, when he worked in private practice, had represented Vertol, that's how he ended up knowing these guys, reaches out using a private email address under the name of Clarice Sterling from Silence of the Lambs, talking to Vertol CEO James Montgomery, telling him exactly what to put in his bid for the contract to fly these migrants to Martha's Vineyard. And then, when Mr. Montgomery from Vertol sent his bid in, he actually included word for word many of the paragraphs that Mr. Keefe had sent in his email. So, what are we looking at here? Is this illegal? Well, that's a bit of a problem. If there's no exchange, like nothing of value given to Mr. Keefe, then it's really hard to say that this is a clear-cut case of public corruption, abuse of power. He's just emailing his friend using a private email, which, yeah, that does raise a lot of red flags. But does it rise to the level of illegality? I really think you would have a tough time selling that in a court, especially down here in the state of Florida. So I don't know that you're going to be able to, file charges against Mr. Keefe here. Now, again, this is based on what we know right now. Is it possible there's a lot more to what happened behind the scenes? Absolutely. I mean, the administration of DeSantis has been fighting tooth and nail to not release all of these records. They've gone to court multiple times. In fact, they've refused even after court orders, to the point where the plaintiffs had to request that the court issue sanctions against them for not complying with the records requests. So there could be a lot more hidden there. But based on what we know right now, I don't think you'd be able to prove in court that this rises to the level of illegality. It sure as hell is unethical. It's shady. But is it illegal? I just don't know that you'd be able to prove that. But what this does prove, and this is important, this is probably the most important part, is that there was a concerted effort within the state government of Florida to pull off this political stunt with these migrant flights. Okay, this wasn't just a couple of bad actors. This was orchestrated, this was planned, this was something that was so serious they were taking bids from companies to run the aircraft to ship these migrants out. This scandal is bigger than it seemed at first, and it continues to grow. That, to me, is the big takeaway from this story. It'd be great if you could pop Keefe with something illegal. I just don't think you'd be able to do it based on what we know right now. But overall, it's not looking good for the government of Florida. They have some questions that are going to have to be answered, probably in the lawsuits that they're already facing. So stay tuned, because this is a story that is not going away anytime soon.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.